Samantha was stunned to finally see the boy her daughter had been talking about. One day, Jenny brought him home, catching Samantha totally off guard. Because as soon as she laid eyes on the boy, she got a strange gut feeling about him. It was as if she recognized him from somewhere. When Samantha finally realizes who he is, she breaks down, realizing her life is forever changed. Samantha excitedly walked to the front door the moment the doorbell rang. She knew almost certainly it was her daughter Jenny, coming home from school. She was eager to hear all about her school day and the new boy in class she liked so much. The days before, Jenny had told her about him, about Alex. He had just transferred to Jenny's class, and it had instantly clicked between them. Samantha couldn't help but smile at the thought of her 9-year-old daughter having her first-ever boyfriend. She knew this time would come, and at this age it couldn't be too serious. She was just happy her daughter felt safe enough to tell her all about it. She reached for the doorknob and listened to her daughter's happy chatter. Was she talking to someone? Expecting to see Jenny talking to one of her girlfriends, Samantha opened the door with a big smile on her face. "Hi, Jenny," she said happily. But her expression quickly changed when she laid eyes on the boy standing next to her daughter. She looked at him from head to toe, stopping at his hands intertwined with her daughter's. "This is Alex, Mom." Stunned and confused, Samantha smiled sheepishly. "Ah, hey, Alex," she said, sticking her hand out. "I'm Samantha, Jenny's mother. Please come in." She stepped aside to let them walk through the door, never looking away from the boy. Jenny seemed happy. She smiled brightly as she showed Alex around the house. But all Samantha could think about was, who on earth is this boy? Jenny and Alex headed upstairs, and Samantha could hear them laughing and giggling. It was all innocent fun and games, but Samantha did yell upstairs for Jenny to leave her door open just in case. She didn't know what children of their age were doing nowadays. She brushed her shaken-up feelings aside and prepared some snacks for the two. The last thing she wanted was to embarrass her daughter. As she walked up the stairs, she heard Jenny and Alex talking. She couldn't help but stop and listen. Alex was telling Jenny about his parents' divorce and that he now lives with his father. Samantha herself was a single parent too, so she felt for Alex. She quickly stepped into Jenny's room, placing the plate of food on the ground between them. She looked at Jenny first, as she almost felt nervous looking at Alex. But as she left the room, he politely said thank you, so she had no other choice but to look at him. Samantha's stomach dropped as soon as their eyes met. She could have sworn she had seen Alex before. It was as if she recognized him from somewhere, but from where? Unable to let this go, she decided to do a little digging. "Alex," she yelled upstairs, "what's your last name?" Alex popped his head out of Jenny's room. "Zaripth," he yelled back. Samantha quickly typed Alex Zaripth into Google, but got no results. She wondered how someone could get no results in Google. Zaripth, she thought. That almost sounds made up. She closed her laptop and stared in front of her for a second. She couldn't get the familiar feeling out of her head. Was he familiar just because she had seen him walking outside? Or could she know his father, maybe? That had to be it. It had to do something with his father. She just knew it. Maybe she knew him from college, and he just looked a lot like him. Around 5, Alex and Jenny came running down the stairs. It was pouring rain outside, so Samantha already knew what was coming. "Mommy, could we drive Alex home?" Samantha smiled. "Of course, honey. Go put your shoes on." This was exactly what Samantha had hoped would happen. This way, she could introduce herself to Alex's father, and hopefully, this strange feeling would fall into place. As they drove up to Alex's house, she realized this all felt eerily unfamiliar, but she didn't want to lose hope. She guided Alex up to his front door with the excuse of holding an umbrella over his head. When the front door suddenly opened, Samantha hopefully looked up, but she was instantly disappointed. A dark-haired man stood before her, looking nothing like Alex. "Hey, buddy," he said happily as Alex ran past him inside. "Thank you for driving him home," he said as he turned his attention to Samantha. "I'm Samantha, Jenny's mother," she said as she shook the man's hand. "I'm Kai, Alex's father, but you probably already guessed that." They both chuckled, but Samantha froze. Something wasn't adding up here. "I'm so sorry," Samantha said, "but I have this strange feeling that I know Alex from somewhere." Alex's father frowned. "That's impossible," he said hesitantly. "We just moved her 2 weeks ago." Samantha nodded. "Ah, yeah. It's probably nothing. Well, it was nice meeting you. See you next time, Alex," she said as she walked away. But this was far from over yet. Back home again, Samantha acted as if nothing was going on, but she couldn't get the strange gut feeling she had out of her mind. Something was just not adding up, and Samantha was losing her mind over it. Suddenly, she got a text from an unknown number. "Alex's father here. I keep thinking about what you said. We moved here from Hawaii. Have you been there before?" Samantha stared at the text for a minute. "Hello, Kai. Can I ask how you got my number? I've never been to Hawaii, no. So that can't be it." She eventually replied back. "Apparently, there is a public system from Alex and Jenny's school that every parent can look into, and that also has everyone's phone numbers. But why would someone go through such trouble?" Samantha's sleep was disturbed by a vivid dream. She found herself in a sterile hospital room, the sound of a baby's cry echoing through the walls. The cry grew fainter, dwindling into a haunting silence that enveloped the room. She awoke with a start, her heart pounding as an inexplicable sense of loss lingered in her mind, like a song whose lyrics she couldn't recall. The following night, her dreams took her back to the same hospital. This time, she stood in front of a nursery window. 2 infants lay there, but one was hidden in shadows, its face obscured. Samantha's heart ached with an unknown sorrow, the sight stirring a deep, unexplained grief within her. She reached out to the shadowed figure, but her fingers touched only cold glass. In yet another dream, Samantha walked down a long, dimly lit hospital corridor. The sound of a baby's laughter echoed off the walls, a joyful sound that seemed to call to her. She quickened her pace, chasing the elusive laughter, but it always remained just out of reach. A reminder of memories she couldn't quite grasp, slipping away like sand through her fingers. Determined to unravel the mystery, Samantha began her investigation in the quiet of her home office. She sifted through old yearbooks and public records, hoping to find any mention or photo of Alex that might spark a connection. Hours turned into evenings as she meticulously combed through pages and databases, searching for a clue that would lead her to understanding the inexplicable bond she felt with Alex. Next, Samantha ventured to the local hospital. Her request for birth records was met with sympathetic smiles but firm refusals, citing privacy laws and incomplete archives. She left the hospital with a heavy heart, feeling the walls of bureaucracy closing in on her quest for answers. The secrets of the past remained locked away, guarded by laws and faded memories. In the days that followed, Samantha found herself gently probing Jenny for information about Alex. "So, what did Alex's old school look like?" Or, "Does Alex ever talk about where he grew up?" she would ask casually. Each question was designed to uncover more about Alex's past without alarming Jenny. Yet each answer led to more questions, deepening the mystery rather than solving it. Frustrated by the lack of progress, Samantha turned to social media and online public records. Night after night, she scoured the web, searching for any trace of Alex or his family that could offer a clue. But every path she followed seemed to end in a dead end. The digital world, with its vast expanse of information, offered no answers, only more confusion. Samantha began to watch Alex more closely during his visits. She noticed the way he tilted his head when he laughed, the subtle expressions that flitted across his face, the way his eyes lit up in excitement. Each observation was stored away, a piece of a puzzle she couldn't yet solve. Despite her efforts, the connection between them remained elusive, hidden just beneath the surface. Samantha's interactions with Alex became increasingly guarded. She watched over Jenny and Alex with a vigilant eye, her smiles less frequent and her laughter forced. During Alex's visits, she found herself retreating into the background, her thoughts clouded with unanswered questions and a deep-seated unease. Her motherly instinct to protect Jenny was at war with the confusing emotions Alex's presence evoked. Jenny, perceptive as always, began to notice the change in her mother's demeanor. Confusion and hurt clouded her young face as she observed Samantha's uncharacteristic coldness towards Alex. The warmth and openness that had always defined their home seemed to diminish with each of Alex's visits, leaving Jenny struggling to understand the shift in her mother's attitude. One evening, Jenny gathered her courage to address the elephant in the room. "Mom, is everything okay with you and Alex?" she asked hesitantly. Samantha, caught off guard, stumbled through a vague response, brushing off Jenny's concerns. The lack of a clear answer only served to heighten the tension, leaving unspoken questions hanging heavily in the air. Torn between her growing suspicions and the fear of upsetting Jenny, Samantha found herself withdrawing more and more. She was caught in an emotional tug-of-war, unable to voice her concerns without concrete proof. This internal struggle led to her increasingly avoiding conversations about Alex, deepening the growing rift between mother and daughter. Feeling isolated and confused, Jenny turned to her friend for comfort. In hushed tones, she shared her worries about her mother's strange behavior, interpreting it as disapproval of her friendship with Alex. "I just don't understand why she's acting this way," Jenny confided, her voice tinged with sadness and frustration at the misinterpreted intentions of her mother's actions. At the parent-teacher meeting, Samantha unexpectedly ran into Alex. He was excitedly presenting a project on family history. As he spoke, his enthusiasm was palpable, and Samantha found herself drawn into his story. The way he described his family's past, with its joys and sorrows, left her feeling an unexpected emotional connection, a stirring deep within her heart. Listening to Alex, Samantha felt a wave of emotions she couldn't quite comprehend. His words seemed to resonate with her on a level she couldn't understand, evoking feelings of nostalgia and a strange sense of familiarity. It was as if his story was not just his own, but somehow intertwined with her own life's tapestry, leaving her emotionally stirred and deeply perplexed. In the days following the meeting, Samantha found herself reflecting on her interaction with Alex. She began to sense a deeper, inexplicable connection to him. This intuition, usually so reliable as a mother, now left her more confused than ever. She couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to their relationship than just Jenny's friend from school. The chance encounter with Alex added new, confusing pieces to the puzzle of her emotions. Samantha tried to put these pieces together to make sense of the feelings Alex stirred in her, but the picture remained incomplete. Each new detail seemed to fit, and yet not fit, like a jigsaw puzzle with pieces from different sets, making the whole image elusive and perplexing. As she pondered over her feelings, Samantha began to notice subtle similarities between Alex and her own family. Certain gestures, expressions, even laughs that seemed familiar. She initially dismissed these observations as mere coincidences, but they kept surfacing in her mind, refusing to be ignored, yet she wasn't ready to explore the deeper implications of these reflections. Jenny's patience finally snapped. "Mom, why are you acting so weird around Alex?" she demanded, her voice quivering with frustration and hurt. "You've been so distant and cold. It's like you don't approve of him for some reason." Samantha, caught off guard by the directness of Jenny's confrontation, struggled to find words, her own emotions a tumultuous sea she could barely navigate. Samantha found herself at a loss for words. Her mind raced with thoughts of her unexplained connection to Alex and the fear of revealing too much. "Jenny, it's not what you think," she began, but the words that followed felt hollow. She wanted to protect Jenny from the confusing suspicions that plagued her, but her evasiveness only served to deepen the divide between them. "I just want what's best for you," Samantha said weakly, attempting to reassure Jenny. Yet, her lack of transparency only fueled Jenny's frustration. Samantha's inability to articulate her deep-seated fears and doubts left a chasm of unspoken words between them, the silence echoing louder than any words could. The confrontation reached an emotional peak, with both Samantha and Jenny overwhelmed by feelings of hurt and misunderstanding. Tears blurred Jenny's eyes as she turned away, unable to comprehend her mother's enigmatic behavior. Samantha watched her daughter retreat, her heart aching with guilt and helplessness, realizing that her inability to explain had only widened the rift between them. Alone with her thoughts, Samantha felt a renewed sense of determination wash over her. Guilty about the painful argument with Jenny, she resolved to delve deeper into the enigma surrounding Alex. Her maternal instincts, once a source of comfort, now drove her to seek the truth, no matter how unsettling it might prove to be. In a moment of unguarded conversation, Alex casually mentioned his adoption. "I don't really look like my dad, since I'm adopted," he said with a shrug. This revelation struck a chord in Samantha, sparking a new trail of thought. The fact that Alex was adopted intrigued her, adding a significant layer to the mystery she had been unraveling in her mind. Samantha's mind raced as she considered the implications of Alex's adoption. Could this be the missing piece of the puzzle she had been desperately trying to solve? The possibility that his adoption was somehow linked to the strange connection she felt with him began to take root in her thoughts, urging her to delve deeper into this newfound information. Looking at Alex through the lens of this new revelation, Samantha began to see him in a different light. The implications of his adoption filled her with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. She pondered over how this piece of his past fit into the mysterious emotional bond she felt, wondering if and how their lives were intertwined beyond mere acquaintanceship. This new angle led Samantha to ponder about Alex's biological parents and his life before the adoption. Who were they? What circumstances had led to his adoption? These questions swirled in her mind, each one opening up a myriad of possibilities, some more unsettling than others. The desire to understand Alex's origins grew stronger, driven by the nagging sense of connection she couldn't ignore. The revelation of Alex's adoption planted seeds of a shocking possibility in Samantha's mind. Yet she knew she needed more concrete evidence before jumping to any conclusions. Her instinct told her there was more to this story, a deeper truth that lay buried beneath the surface of Alex's casual revelation and her own tangled emotions. One day, as Samantha watched Alex playing in the yard, she noticed a distinctive birthmark on his neck. It was identical to a unique mark shared by members of her family. This startling resemblance sent a jolt through her, igniting a realization that had been lurking in the back of her mind, yet one she had been hesitant to confront. This observation triggered a long-forgotten memory in Samantha, a memory of her lost twin, who had been presumed dead shortly after birth. The pieces of the puzzle began to click into place, forming a picture that was both unbelievable and inescapable. Could it be possible that Alex was not just a friend of Jenny's, but much more? Samantha's heart raced as she grappled with the overwhelming possibility that Alex was her presumed dead twin. The idea seemed far-fetched, yet the uncanny resemblances and coincidences were too striking to ignore. This revelation shook her to the core, turning her world upside down as she faced the implications of what this could mean for her family. Driven by a need for certainty, Samantha knew she had to seek out concrete evidence. She considered obtaining medical records or arranging for DNA testing. The need for confirmation was not just for her peace of mind, but also to understand the full scope of the situation she and her family found themselves in, wrapped in a mystery that spanned years. In her quest for answers, Samantha unearthed an old baby photo of Jenny and her twin. Comparing it to Alex, she noticed striking similarities: the same eyes, the same curve of the smile. It was more than mere coincidence. It was a mirror image. This visual comparison only solidified her growing suspicions, pushing her closer to an undeniable truth. In a candid conversation, Kai revealed to Samantha the story of how he came to adopt Alex. He believed Alex to be an orphan with no remaining family, a belief that had shaped his decision to provide a loving home for the boy. Samantha listened intently, the weight of each word adding depth to the evolving tapestry of their intertwined lives. As Samantha shared her suspicions about Alex's origins, Kai's expression shifted from curiosity to shock. The revelation that Alex might have a biological family, specifically one connected to Samantha, was as astonishing to him as it was to her. They both grappled with the enormity of this discovery, realizing the profound implications it had for everyone involved. Together, Samantha and Kai delved into the past, piecing together the circumstances of Alex's adoption. They talked about the hospital, the paperwork, and the series of events that had led to Kai becoming Alex's father. Each shared their piece of the story, slowly forming a clearer picture of the journey that had brought them to this unexpected juncture. Kai spoke of his journey with Alex, his voice laden with emotion. He recounted the milestones, the challenges, and the deep bond they had formed over the years. His love for Alex was evident in every word, painting the picture of a relationship built on care, understanding, and unconditional love, irrespective of their biological connection. As Kai shared his experiences, Samantha felt a surge of empathy for him. She recognized the complexity of their shared connection to Alex, acknowledging the strength of the bond Kai had with the boy he raised as his son. In this moment of shared revelation, their stories, though different, were united by their love and concern for Alex's well-being. The revelation brought a storm of emotions for everyone involved. Samantha, Kai, Jenny, and Alex each grappled with their own feelings of betrayal, loss, and newfound happiness. The complexity of their situation was overwhelming as they faced a reality that was both heart-wrenching and heartwarming. It was a delicate balance of processing their individual experiences while recognizing the profound impact on their collective lives. In search of answers and closure, they collectively decided to approach the hospital for information about the mix-up that had led to Alex's separation from his biological family. It was a necessary step, not only for understanding the past but also for healing and moving forward. They hoped that uncovering the truth would help them make sense of the tangled web of events. Confronting the hospital was an emotional ordeal, but it was also a step towards healing. As they discussed the situation with hospital authorities, the initial tension gave way to a sense of understanding and resolution. This confrontation, while difficult, was a crucial part of mending the old wounds and reconciling with the past that had silently shaped their lives. Through their interactions with the hospital, the group began to find peace with their past. The hospital's acknowledgement and explanation of the mix-up, while not undoing the years of separation, provided a sense of closure. It was a pivotal moment, as they began to look forward with hope, envisioning a future where the pain of the past could be transformed into something positive. Gradually, the group started to embrace their new, complex family dynamic. In this newfound reality, they found comfort in their shared love for Alex. This unique bond, forged by unexpected circumstances, brought them together in a way they had never anticipated. They began to navigate this new chapter in their lives, united by their affection and care for Alex, forming a blended family rooted in love and understanding. Samantha and Kai worked together to ensure a smooth transition for Alex as he began to acquaint himself with his biological family. They navigated this new chapter with sensitivity and understanding, focusing on Alex's well-being. Their collaboration showcased a unified front, paving the way for Alex to explore the connections with his new family while maintaining the bond he shared with Kai. Jenny and Alex, now aware of their sibling connection, embarked on a journey of bonding. They approached their new relationship with a mix of curiosity and affection, discovering the joys and challenges of being siblings. Their interactions were filled with moments of learning about each other, building a bond that was unique and special, strengthened by their shared experiences and newfound familial ties. Alex grappled with the reality of having two fathers, a situation both unusual and enriching. He appreciated the love and care from both Kai, who had raised him, and his newfound biological family. This unique circumstance brought about a deeper understanding of family, beyond the conventional norms, and Alex grew to value the different yet equally profound forms of affection from both fathers. As time passed, the two families began to blend, creating a unique and harmonious unit. They developed new traditions and shared memories, celebrating their unusual yet beautiful situation. This blending was not without its challenges, but it was underpinned by a strong foundation of love and respect. Their combined experiences enriched their lives, creating a tapestry woven with diverse threads of family and love. The story culminates with a scene where both families come together, a testament to the power of love and acceptance. They embrace their new reality, a family united not just by blood, but also by the shared experiences that brought them together. This final scene symbolizes a journey of discovery, acceptance, and the unifying power of love in forging new paths and strengthening family bonds.